Good evening and thank you for joining us on What's Hot. I'm Ritu Singh and here are the top 5 stories that we're tracking for you today. The Reserve Bank cuts repo rate for the 5th consecutive time this year, reducing it by 25 basis points to a 9-year low of 5.15%. Also maintains its accommodative stance and says will continue to do so till growth revives. The RBI lowers its growth forecast for the current fiscal by 80 basis points to 6.1%, cites high-frequency indicators pointing to weak domestic demand across rural and urban areas. Mumbai police arrests PMC Bank's former MD Joy Thomas and searches for former chairman Vayaram Singh. A magistrate court sends promoters of HTIL, Rakesh and Sarang Vadhavan to police custody till the 9th of October. Market ends in the red for the 5th consecutive session for the week. The Sensex and the Nifty lose 3% each. Banks lead the slide with the Nifty Bank Index seeing a cut of over 7%. India's Air Force chief admits that shooting down its own helicopter in Kashmir in February was a big mistake. Also adds that punitive action is being taken against the guilty. Our top story tonight, the Monetary Policy Committee's rate-cutting spree continues. The decision was almost unanimous, with 5 members of the panel voting for a 25 basis point cut and 1 member, that is Ravindra Dholakia, voting for a 40 basis point cut. Now, after this, the repo rate now stands at 5.15%, the lowest level since April of 2010. Now, since the start of 2019, repo rates have been slashed by 135 basis points. RBI has also maintained its accommodative stance, with the governor promising to maintain it until there is a reversal in growth. RBI also handed a sharp 80 basis point cut to its growth forecast, citing high-frequency indicators that are pointing to weak demand. RBI also raised the red flag on exports, but remained optimistic on agriculture growth after strong monsoons in August and in September. Now, RBI expects inflation to remain below 4% for this financial year. Now, even after a cut in corporate tax rates, the governor remains hopeful that the government will stick to its fiscal deficit roadmap. Shaktikanta Das also defended the central bank's action in the Punjab and Maharashtra cooperative bank case, adding that the central bank will not let any cooperative bank collapse. He also added that the Indian banking system is sound and stable and there is no reason for any unnecessary panic.
As long as the growth momentum remains as it is, until the growth is revived, RBI will continue to remain in an accommodative mode. And इसका ये मतलब उससे आप नहीं निकाल सकते हैं कि minimum rate क्या है, minimum repo rate कहाँ पे जाके RBI will take a pause. It is not possible to comment on that at this particular point of time. All that it says is to give a clear indication that RBI will continue with the accommodative stance as long as it is necessary. The government has made a statement that they will adhere to the fiscal deficit of the current year. So we have therefore no reason to doubt the commitment of the government to maintain the fiscal deficit number as given in the budget. And this I would say because, as you know, government has several sources of revenue. So whatever shortfall is expected because of the announcement of the corporate tax rate cuts, government have the option of increasing, making it up through other sources. The Indian banking sector remains sound and stable, and there is no reason for any unnecessary panic. In fact, sometimes unnecessary rumors can create a panic situation. So through you, I would like to appeal the members of the public and all depositors not to believe in such rumors. Our banking system remains sound and stable. One incident cannot be used and should not be used, we feel, to generalize about the health of the cooperative banking sector.
All right, that was the RBI governor. Now Lata Venkatesh joins us with her take on the policy. Lata, the rate cut is on expected lines, but why are the markets still unhappy?
Well, it was yet another rate cut on expected lines, a 25 basis point rate cut, and more important, a promise that there is enough policy space to address the growth concerns. That is usually RBI's legalese to say that more rate cuts are coming. Now, my take would be that the Reserve Bank and the MPC have done their dovish best. I mean, they've done everything they can, given the rate cut and given enough indication that they will do more. And if you saw the equity market sell off and the bond markets hardly move a bit, that, my sense, is because the market and the economy knows that these are the limits to monetary policy. They can't beyond this do anything to either spur growth or push the cost of money below a certain level. There is a trust deficit, both with the government and with borrowers. Well, let's come to the other things that the RBI did. First up, this 25 basis rate cut. There are some who have argued that if the RBI and the MPC had done 40 basis and given the same assurance that there is enough space, it would have been better. I think that's unfair criticism because after all, the delivery of the rate cut, the transmission has been wanting. And so if instead of wasting the entire firepower, the governor, I think, was well justified in doing 25, and that gives him another space to do perhaps a 25 in December and maybe even more thereafter. So I don't think that criticism is warranted, that why didn't he do 40 and indicate space. The other criticism or the comment has been that it's this giant 80 basis point cut in GDP that has spooked the markets. That would be utter nonsense because all economists on the street were already at 6% or maybe at best 6.3%. So RBI cutting the GDP forecast, and that's why all of us were spooked, is something no one can buy. The point of criticism has been that the Gov did not raise any opposition to the huge fiscal problem. And there is a tax giveaway and there is a tax shortfall. And yet the governor chooses to believe 3.3%. Clearly the market has delivered its verdict. It doesn't believe the government or the governor on fiscal deficit. And that is why the yields are where they are. You know, 10-year at, 6.6, the new 10-year perhaps 6.45. Not a great pricing in of rate cut because they are pricing in an extra borrowing. Unspecified amount, but everybody is pricing in some kind of extra borrowing. And finally, the point about OMOs. What the market wanted to hear is that the governor will continue to do OMOs, that is, buy bonds in the open market, even if there is plentiful liquidity. Well, I directly asked the governor that, and he gave the correct RBI answer: no, OMOs are only for liquidity, and they will not be done to manage yields. Maybe that spooked the market, but there are some who say that they don't believe. They believe that if, say, the 10-year goes to 7%, the RBI will indeed buy bonds in the open market. We'll leave that aside for our experts to discuss. And finally, my sense is that today's action in the market, both stocks and bonds, is telling you that this is all the RBI can do. There is a trust deficit as far as depositors not trusting cooperative banks now, and there is a trust deficit between banks and borrowers. They are not going to lend to certain kind of NBFCs, and if they do, it will be at a very high price, so transmission will anyway be impacted, and RBI can't make the bankers change their commercial judgment, and that is why all markets reacted the way they did.
All right, so that 25 basis point rate cut did little to cheer the markets. It was a dismal Friday to cap what was a very dismal week on Dalal Street. The Sensex slipped 730 points and the Nifty ended over 1% lower. Banking stocks led the market lower once again, with the Nifty Bank Index losing 700 points. For the week, the markets posted the biggest weekly fall in 5 months. Sensex and Nifty both ended 3% down each. Banks led the slide, with the Nifty Bank Index ending 7% lower for the week. Well, here's the latest in the PMC Bank crisis. The Mumbai police has now arrested the bank's suspended MD Joy Thomas and is still searching for its former chairman Vayaram Singh. This comes on a day when a magistrate's court had sent the promoters of HDIL, Rakesh Madhavan and Sarang Madhavan, to police custody until the 9th of October. Yashan has been tracking that story for us and joins in with the updates. Yash, what is the latest in this investigation?
So Ritu, of course, the latest coming here in the form of arrest which has been done of Joy Thomas, the former managing director of PMC Bank, What that does is it essentially adds one more arrest to the arrest of Sarang and Rakesh Wadhawan, which was done yesterday. Sarang and Rakesh Wadhawan were presented before the court today, where police custody was sought for further interrogation and questioning. A police custody till October 9th has been given to the Economic Offences Wing of Mumbai Police, only for Sarang and Rakesh Wadhawan. Now, of course, because Joy Thomas was arrested later in the evening after the courts were shut, hence Joy Thomas is most likely to be presented before the court on Monday, where, of course, a police custody for him also will be sought going forward. Now, of course, to seek the police custody for Sarang and Rakesh Wadhawan, a charge sheet was also presented by EOW before the court, and it spelled out the modus operandi of the entire PMC fraud, where EOW in its initial investigation has found that a loan of 4,335 crore rupees is still outstanding from HDIL Group since 2008. This was taken as a part of the 44 accounts which HDIL held, and this exposure is only out of 10 accounts out of those 44 accounts. Now, these 44 accounts, some employees of PMC Bank did not enter in the core banking solution of the bank, hence it did not reflect in the main system. And to RBI in its report, PMC Bank, these officials essentially made approximately 21,000 fictitious accounts to show the loans which were extended to HDIL. This is a preliminary investigation as of now. Of course, as far as seeking the police custody of Sarang and Rakesh Wadhawan is concerned, various reasons were given by EOW to the court, talking about their important and active role in PMC fraud, to get details about other operations of HDIL, to get answers to questions like whether or not the money taken from PMC Bank was used to service debt from other banks, whether such irregularities and loans have been taken from other banks and institutions as well. All these questions the EOW is seeking answers for. Hence, they sought the police custody for Rakesh and Sarang Wadhawan, which they have till October 9th. And of course, now Joy Thomas will be presented before the court on Monday, where a police custody will be sought for him as well.
All right, Yash, we leave it at that. Thank you very much for joining in with the latest as far as the PMC Bank is concerned. On that note, we will slip into a short break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more news and updates. Welcome back. You're watching CNBC-TV18 and this is What's Hot. Anger and pain at several PMC Bank branches across Mumbai. A heart surgery in doubt, question marks over a daughter's wedding and post-dated checks starting to bounce. Every bank branch is full of stories about how many customers who are simply helpless because of this PMC crisis. Archana Shukla reports from Mumbai's Sion branch of Punjab and Maharashtra Cooperative Bank.
I feel like beating whoever comes to my door.
कि हम लोग कोई जुआ नहीं खेले जो हार गए.
When we came here to this Sion branch of Punjab and Maharashtra Bank, the outside area was pretty quiet. When we went inside, people have queued up to withdraw up to 25,000 rupees. Within 6 months, they are either withdrawing it at once or in chunks and parts. And inside particularly, the process is functioning smooth enough. But is 25,000 rupees enough? माजी अभी RBI ने बढ़ाकर कहा है कि 25,000 रुपए तक आप निकाल सकती हैं.
इससे 6 महीने में कुछ नहीं होगा बेटा. 6 महीने में 25 देंगे तो हम घर का भाड़ा देगा या दवाई करेगा. कोई हमारा तो है नहीं, हम खुद कमाते हैं, खुद खाते हैं.
ये आपका इकलौता अकाउंट है कि दूसरे भी अकाउंट
नहीं? यही है हमारे. हम लोग इधर आके करते हैं, कहीं नहीं जाते हैं हम लोग. कहाँ जाएंगे, किसके दरवाजा खटखटाएंगे हम लोग?
आप
अपना रह के भी हम लोग रो रहे हैं. घर अपना नहीं है, घर भाड़ा से देना है. घर किराया का है, 6,000 किराया है, लाइट का बिल है. कहाँ से भरेंगे हम लोग?
मेरी बेटी का अकाउंट यहाँ पे होने की वजह से स्कूल की फीस, क्लासेस की फीस यहाँ से जाती थी. जहाँ पे हम लोगों ने जो क्लासेस में एडवांस से पहले चेक दिए होते थे, वो चेक भी बाउंस हुए. वहाँ पे हम लोग को 300 रुपए की पेनल्टी लग रही है. तो दूसरी बैंक से भी हम लोग को लॉस हो रहा है. तो दूसरी बैंक हम लोग को बेनिफिट नहीं दे रही है कि चलो आपका PMC का अकाउंट है तो हम लोग आपको ये चार्ज नहीं करेंगे. आपका ये इकलौता अकाउंट है कि दूसरे अकाउंट भी हैं आपके पास? थोड़ा सा
यही है. FD हमारी सारी इसमें ही है. हमने बेटियों के ब्याह के लिए यहाँ पे FD की थी कि जब भी जरूरत होगी निकाल लेंगे. मैं नहीं समझता कि गवर्नमेंट इनको इतनी छूट देती कैसे है कि ये घपला करके निकल जावे. जो भी एमडी है जो भी है उनको हमारे हवाले करे ना, जनता के हवाले करे, जनता न्याय करेगी उनके साथ।
हमारा है, फैमिली का है, बच्चों का है, और हम लोग सो शॉक्ड हो गए। एक इनकी गुडविल और इनकी एक अच्छी बात यह है कि स्टाफ जो है काउंटर्स पर काम करने वाले अप टू द ब्रांच मैनेजर, तो वी आर जस्ट चोक्ड अप नाउ। व्हाट विल बी द रिलीज मेथड एक्चुअली आई डोंट नो, एंड ऑल्सो द एफडीज which are actually on matured, they are supposed to receive the money. Everything has come to a standstill. If the bank is wrong by the heads, that doesn't mean that you are supposed to pass on your liability to the depositors.
Correct.
This is a questionable point now.
बोलते कैश रखना अलाउड नहीं है, सोना तुम बाय नहीं कर सकते हो, तो क्या करना है?
मेरा डॉक्टर ने हार्ट का ऑपरेशन बोला है। हाँ, मेरा 3 लाख खर्चा है, 3 लाख खर्चा है। अभी सब एफटी इधर, मैं सीनियर सिटीजन वाली हूँ, अभी मेरा सब इधर है। मेरे को बात भी नहीं है घर पे, कुछ नहीं। क्या करूँगी बोलो, क्या करूँगी बोलो? ऐसे बैंक में जमा कर रखे, हम लोग क्या करेंगे? हम लोग बच्चों के एक पैसा जमा कर किसी और आपके दूसरे बैंक में कोई अकाउंट नहीं है, इधर ही सब जमा कराया है। पंजाबी इधर ही पंजाब इधर ही सब जमा कराया है, दूसरे किसी बैंक में नहीं है, इधर ही सब। ऐसा नहीं है ना, क्या करेंगे हम, किधर जाएंगे? आपका ऑपरेशन कब का बोला है? 35 साल अगले महीने के ना, मेरा अगले महीने में ऑपरेशन है।
ये नमूना बन गया, ये बैंक का ये एग्जाम्पल बन गया, नमूना बन गया कि किसी को भी कोऑपरेटिव बैंक में पैसा जमा डालने का, पैसा खाता रखने का वो विश्वास ही गया,
नहीं रखेगा।
अभी कोई भी कोऑपरेटिव बैंक में, अभी इतना सारा कोऑपरेटिव बैंक है, अभी किसी में भी किसी का भी पैसा रखना है ना, सब डरेगा क्योंकि ये एक नंबर का बैंक।
कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स में आप लोगों को डर लग रहा है?
डर लग रहा है, अभी तो डर लग रहा है।
इतना अपना न्यूज़ हाईलाइट हुआ, नीरव मोदी, विजय माल्या ने इतना बैंकों से घपला किया, ठीक है ना, फिर भी हम तो धन्यवाद करते हैं कि पंजाब नेशनल बैंक ने फिर भी बंद नहीं किया।
Cooperative banks are not to be trusted. Now I think public should take out the money and keep it at home only, because we old people, I am a widow. My hard-earned money, I am crying now every day. What is my medicine expenses? Monthly I have to pay 5,000 rupees for medicine expenses. Rent is there, children are there, ration is there. In 25,000, what are we going to do for 6 months?
Well, 25,000 rupees for 6 months is certainly not an amount that will help people run their families, run their lives. But one thing is first for certain, people did have a lot of trust in the Punjab and Maharashtra Bank. But the incidents in the last 10 days have somewhere mired the trust that people had in cooperative banks.
आम्ही बाळासाहेबांचे खास कट्टर शिवसैनिक आहे, त्यासाठी मी बोलतो, आता आमदारचा टाइम आला ना, कमीत कमी आम्हाला साथ तर द्या. आम्ही तुमच्याकडून काय बक्षीस नाही घेणार, कमीत कमी आमच्या